Now that the election is finally over and we can stop having our YouTube videos interrupted by political ads every 3 minutes, we can get on with our lives. For half of the country, this means celebrating the glorious return of our favorite billionaire businessman to the White House. For the other half, well, let's just say there's a lot of whining, crying, and probably some stress-induced lavender latte consumption going on. Look, I get it. You're upset. You thought your preferred flavor of political ice cream was a shoo-in, and now you're stuck with what you consider a bad batch of Rocky Road with extra nuts. But here's the thing. Reality doesn't care about your feelings. And the reality is, Trump is back in the White House. So, what's a salty, sad socialist supposed to do? Well, I'm here to help. Here are 5 steps to having a successful life after Trump's win. Buckle up, snowflakes, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. All right, leftists, listen up. It's time to face a cold, hard truth. Life isn't fair. You don't get a trophy just for showing up, and you certainly don't get to dictate who wins the presidential election just because you scream louder and cry harder than everyone else. Remember all those participation trophies you probably got growing up? Yeah, those were meaningless. You didn't earn them, you didn't deserve them, and they certainly didn't prepare you for the real world. The real world, my friends, is a meritocracy. That means you get rewarded based on your hard work, your talent, and your ability to contribute to society. Shocking, I know. But here's the thing. If you spend all your time complaining about the results of a democratic election, you're not exactly contributing, are you? You're just being a drag. Look, I understand that the concept of personal responsibility might be a foreign concept to some of you. After all, you've been told for years that you're entitled to everything. Free healthcare, free college, free housing, free avocado toast. The list goes on. But here's the reality. Nothing in life is truly free. Someone, somewhere, is paying for it. And frankly, the American taxpayer is getting pretty tired of footing the bill for your utopian fantasies. So, step 1 to surviving the next 4 years? Grow up. Accept the fact that you don't always get what you want. And for the love of all that is good and holy, stop expecting handouts. Okay, so you've hopefully accepted the fact that the world doesn't owe you a living. Congratulations, you've taken the first step toward adulthood. Now let's talk about step 2, get a job. And no, before you even say it, being an influencer on TikTok doesn't count. Unless you're raking in millions of dollars a year from sponsorship deals, and let's be honest, you're not, then you're not actually contributing to the economy. You're just creating more noise in an already deafening digital landscape. Look, I know manual labor isn't as glamorous as posting selfies and ranting about social justice on Twitter, but guess what? It pays the bills. And more importantly, it gives you a sense of purpose. It allows you to contribute to society in a tangible way. I can already hear the objections now. But there are no good jobs out there. Oh, please, stop with the excuses. The truth is there are plenty of jobs available for those who are willing to work hard and learn new skills. And before you start whining about needing a college degree for every decent job out there, let me stop you right there. Not everyone needs a 4-year degree to be successful. In fact, there are plenty of high-paying trades out there that are desperate for skilled workers. So, ditch the entitlement, put down your phone for 5 minutes, and start looking for a job. Trust me, your bank account and your self-esteem will thank you. Chapter 3. Join the real world. It's scary out here, and that's okay. So, you've grown up a little and you've got yourself a job, hopefully. Congratulations, you're well on your way to becoming a productive member of society. But here's the next hurdle, actually interacting with that society. And no, I'm not talking about engaging in heated political debates with your equally sheltered friends on Facebook. I'm talking about venturing out into the real world, the one that exists outside your carefully curated echo chamber. I know, it's scary out there. You might encounter people who disagree with you. You might even come face to face with someone who voted for Trump. The horror. But here's the thing, diversity of thought is not a bad thing. In fact, it's essential for a healthy society. You see, when you surround yourself with people who think exactly like you, you create an echo chamber where your own biases and prejudices are amplified. You become so convinced that your worldview is the only correct one that you lose the ability to even consider alternative perspectives. This is not only intellectually lazy, but it's also incredibly dangerous. So, how do you break free from your echo chamber? It's simple. Talk to people who are different from you. And I don't just mean people from different racial or ethnic backgrounds. I mean people with different political views, different religious beliefs, different life experiences. You might be surprised at what you learn. Chapter 4. Wake up from wokeness, logic, and reason. Are your friends not your enemies? All right, folks, let's talk about the elephant in the room, wokeness. This all-encompassing ideology has infiltrated every aspect of our culture, from college campuses to Hollywood to corporate boardrooms, and frankly, it's exhausting. The woke mob claims to champion tolerance and inclusivity, but in reality, they're some of the most intolerant and divisive people out there. They silence dissenting opinions, they shame anyone who dares to question their dogma, and they seem to thrive on outrage and offense. Here's a newsflash for you. Constantly searching for things to be offended by is not a personality trait. It's a sign that you need to get a hobby. Seriously, go for a walk, read a book, learn to knit, anything to get your mind off of the supposed injustices of the world. The truth is, the vast majority of people are not out to get you. They're not plotting your oppression, they're just trying to live their lives. So, do yourself a favor and ditch the woke ideology. It's not making you a better person, it's not making the world a better place, and frankly, it's making you insufferable to be around. Chapter 5. Deal with it. The world doesn't revolve around your feelings. So, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about personal responsibility, the importance of hard work, the dangers of echo chambers, and the absurdity of wokeness. Now let's get to the final and perhaps most important step, dealing with it. That's right, my friends. Sometimes life throws you curveballs. Sometimes the candidate you voted for doesn't win. Sometimes the world doesn't conform to your every whim. And in those moments, you have a choice to make. You can either wallow in self-pity and rage against the machine, or you can accept reality and move on with your life. Here's the thing. The world doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't owe you a certain outcome in an election. It doesn't owe you a safe space from opposing viewpoints. And it certainly doesn't owe you a participation trophy for simply existing. So my advice to you is this. Stop whining, stop complaining, and start living. Get involved in your community. Volunteer your time to a cause you care about. Focus on building a better future for yourself and your loved ones. Welcome to reality. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The next 4 years might be tough for some of you. You might not always agree with the policies coming out of the White House. You might even find yourself triggered on a regular basis. But here's the good news. You live in the greatest country on earth. You have the freedom to express your opinions, even if those opinions are wrong. You have the opportunity to work hard and achieve your dreams, even if those dreams don't involve being handed everything on a silver platter. So, buck up, buttercups. The world isn't ending. Trump is president again. Deal with it. And while you're at it, maybe try being a little less miserable.